Welcome, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you are tuned in from. Welcome to another episode of What Now? We keep going because it's still a pandemic and we still need inspiration and we still have loads and loads and loads of inspiring and motivating people. So I'm very excited about this one today because it's somebody from my hometown, an incredible producer. His name is Full Crate. And he's done incredible stuff for a whole bunch of people. If you don't know his work, please go and check it out. Find him on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, Full Crate. And it's just absolutely beautiful music. I am very excited to speak to him because we have talked a little bit since this pandemic. And I just think he's a very inspiring person, coming where he's coming from, having made the journey that he's made and being where he is now. Developing his skills as a producer, his talent as a writer, and venturing out into even film. And he's just an amazing person. I've known him for, 15 years. I can't even tell. But he's entering the room now, and I'm very excited to have this conversation. So I'm just going to get him in there. If you have questions for him, then please make sure you put it in the question box, and I'll definitely at some point in the conversation. But at this point, I'm just excited to welcome him in. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
I like the plant.
Ta-da!
Yay!
Say hi to Bonita. This is my girl, Bonita, right here.
Bonita, that's Bonita?
Yep.
Oh, wow. She looks pretty. She's been keeping you company?
Definitely. This has been a new hobby of mine.
I love it. I love it because plants actually give you life, literally. So
literally, they give me life. Yeah. So I'm really, really happy.
First of all, again, I just already said you are such an inspiring person to me as far as, your journey and your music. I've been playing out Brandy the past few weeks.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm very excited to have you, especially because you're from here. You're like around the corner from me. And it's just amazing because I've been speaking to so many people from the States mainly. And so now I'm just like, I can welcome another fellow Amsterdamian.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, man. I've been knowing you for years.
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of really good conversations. So this is good to kind of share it with the world. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
So for the people that are tuned in, thank you so much for taking out the time in your day to be with us for this conversation. I started this What Now series at the beginning of the pandemic in March last year. This is talk number 72 that I'm having. I took a break in December. It's really inspired by inspiring others. We're all shut down in the creative industry. There's no shows, there's no concert, there's no touring. We can't really hang out and do studio sessions with a bunch of people. It's just a lot of not so cool stuff. So I really wanted to do this to inspire people. So my guests are handpicked specifically because I feel they have a story to tell. And one of the things that Crate and I've been talking about is, how we're dealing with things in this pandemic, which is tying into this What Now series. So my first question would be, how did the pandemic affect you personally and professionally?
How did it affect me? I think personally, the pandemic affected me in a way where, I know this might sound weird, but I think this was a break that I really needed. Because the past years I've just been, going. And it's been incredible. I'm super blessed that I get to travel. I get to tour the world and, see so many amazing people and all these places. But I think I was really in a place where I needed to take a break and just be in one place for a change, which I really missed. So from that perspective, it has been really good. Because I got to really, I have a new crib. Like I'm super, super happy and I'm feel more grounded because before that, pretty much every artist, once you start like the traveling, you're becoming a touring artist. That's just like hotel, airplane.
Yeah.
You
bad
come home,
food.
that's the thing. A lot of fast food. I was doing okay-ish. But now, indeed, a lot of bad food and a lot of like late nights and stuff like that. And then you don't get to see your friends or your family. So that was nice for me, but also obviously for the same reasons. Like, you know, a lot of people can't go outside, can't do things and whatever. But I where I come from and the way I grew up as a kid, I still looked at it from a positive side. Like me and my family, me and my parents and my brothers, we just kind of had a conversation like, alrighty, how we're gonna handle
Yeah.
this situation. And we kind of went about it in a way where we were like, you know what, for us, it like, you know, it could be worse. So let's just
Yeah.
count our blessings every day. So I've been kind of my blessing. Obviously, I had days when I was just going crazy too,
We
just like
all,
every you know,
yeah.
everybody had that. But overall, last year has been like probably one of the most important years as an individual for me because I learned so much about myself. I was already set to be on a journey of self-reflection, being more alone. I really wanted to take time to be by myself and just explore who am I as a person, who am I as an artist, who am I as an
Right.
individual kind of thing. So I was already facing kind of like my demons and stuff like that. I was set to go on that journey. I was already in it, um, excuse me, for months. And then the pandemic hit and I was like, all right, I guess now I have no choice but actually continue that
Yeah.
journey. So for me, it was a thing like I was planning on doing that isolated vibe anyway, kind of, not to
Yeah.
this extent. And professionally, I mean, no shows, no performances, so that's a
Creating.
difficult one. But
Well,
it
yeah.
allowed me and gave me so much time to create and write music. And then, yeah, you know, so I kind of look at it from like, okay, if I can do this, then I'm gonna focus on the other thing. Always keep on going. And shout out to my team too. You know, we had really good conversations early on when the pandemic hit. We're like, alrighty, what are we doing? Because I also know a few of my artist friends decided to like stop and see, you know, like what's happening, what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. And we kind of decided like, nah, let's just for us, it worked to just continue. I released a lot of music and yeah, that was also a therapy on its own, you know, just
Yeah.
being able to stay
Of
busy
course.
and release. So I'm super fortunate and really, really blessed that I got to create and I got to, you know, be in this place where I'm at right now.
Well, it's great to know that your personal progress was one of
Mm,
the number one things for you. And obviously I talked, well, again, I had 70 talks before this one, 71. This is number
yeah.
72. And so pretty much everybody that's a touring artist said the same thing. Like, yo, I had the time to sit down and be more healthy, you know, sleep better, get a routine and eat better. And also be creative and take peace of mind. Really
Hmm.
look at yourself mentally like, okay, am I okay? Because when you're going, then
Yeah.
you can't sit and really think about what you're doing and where you want to go because it's just a constant life of going. And
Hmm.
so one of the things that I've seen with you as well is the cooking. Have
Yes.
your habits, your physical and mental habits changed? Have
Hmm.
you, you know, been more healthy? Your health routines.
I think so. Yeah. I've been eating healthier, eating more regularly, and sleeping better. I think that's also the thing. I changed my pattern from going to sleep at 5, 6 in the morning to going to bed between 11 and 1 a.m.,
That's really
which is
good.
really nice. And then lately I've been going to bed a little later because then I'm, you know, working on more music. So, you know, the creative,
Yeah, you got to
the
stay
vibe,
working.
you
Yeah.
know, there's like in the evening, you're like, oh, it's 11 p.m. I should be going home, but like the vibe is nice. So you just, plus I work with a lot of people overseas. So
Yeah,
either it's
yeah,
East Coast
time
or West
difference.
Coast, the time difference. So I have to stay up and do
Yeah.
sessions with people. So, but I try to balance it. I noticed that really changed in the cooking. Man, I love it. I always love cooking. I used to work as a chef in a kitchen for a
I
very
didn't know
short
that.
time. Yeah, but I really enjoyed that. That was one of the jobs, but I think I was like, I started as a pot washer and then I kind of like
I
got
looked at
promoted
your
into the kitchen.
I look at your stories and I pick up on what you're cooking and I'm trying to like, you know, write that down. Like, oh, I should make this too. Like I know you did the
Oh shit.
lentils and the teriyaki chicken
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
day.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
oh, let me just write that
yeah.
down. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I mean, shout out to everybody who's cooking out there. I just really enjoy. I think it's that's one of the things that I was missing while being on the road is not being able
Yeah.
to wake up and take my time. And also, now that I have this new place, I feel very calm and I'm very happy. I've created like a, you know,
Your own
little
piece.
my
Yeah.
own peace, my own like sanity, calmness around me.
Sanctuary.
And I
Your
really like,
sanctuary.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And when I cook, I know like I start my days when I post that I was cooking the other day. I did like a live and I was making pancakes. Like I wasn't joking about that. I do that almost every morning. I put some music on.
Yeah.
And whether the sun is shining or not, I just put music on, I dance, I cook for myself, and I just like have a good time. I really underestimated how important it is to also be happy on your own and just, you know, not just be like, oh, I'm by myself, well, whatever, let me like watch TV. Nah, I just like disconnect from the phone.
Right.
And
Be
just
with
like,
yourself.
yeah, in the moment. So that was really great. And cooking is, I don't always want to cook. Sometimes I'm like, oh, and I live in a place where I have so many restaurants in this area that I'm like, oh, there's a lot of options. But
what part of town do you live in? You don't have to mention your street, but what part?
South.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, there's nice food. I mean, like.
Oh, you're getting a call?
Okay. Depending on what area, there's different food options, but yeah, like for me, I try to cook more because I notice that when I cook, I just feel better and I'm not eating junk, and I have control over what I'm eating, and that goes back into the whole mental health thing. Like,
your diet is a direct link to your mental state, to your sanity.
Even though I'm not gonna lie, the past month I usually eat stuff like McDonald's. I rarely eat it. Like I eat it like once a year maybe. When I travel, it was a little easier because you're like, airport, fuck it, I'll just do it. I don't know what happened the past month. I've had McDonald's 3 times. It was just, I was like, oh, I can't hold after a session. Yeah, and I was like, well, but then I really enjoy it. Then I don't shame myself. I don't stress about it. I don't feel bad. I'm just like, I'm gonna go here.
That's your cheat day.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know what? It's fine. And what I really like you saying is that it's good to be with yourself, because you know you've known me a long time. I've pretty much always lived alone. I've never lived with anyone. I've been on my own for the past 16 years, no roommates, no partners living with me. So I know how to actually enjoy myself by myself, with myself. Don't take this the wrong way, people. But yeah, so this pandemic was really, for me, it wasn't that big of a deal because I work from home as well. I just have less meetings outside, and I don't have as much interaction, like, you know, going to shows and events or having dinners, or so that's the biggest impact for me. But the point that you made about really being with yourself and being happy with yourself, not being dependent on other people to be around you in order to experience happiness within yourself, that's a really big thing. Like a lot of people don't know how to do that, be happy alone without the internet or without, you know, anybody else. So it's good to experience that.
Yeah. And the phone addiction is real. And like,
especially now,
man, I would like to say that, oh no, I'm not addicted, but I think all of us pretty much are, or a lot of us are. And I had to admit that to myself first and be like, damn, like I'm on my phone a lot. And it's weird. Like I'm a huge movie person. I love, like, I graduated film school. Like I really enjoy watching movies. That's like my thing. Like I go to movies like to get inspired. Not that I can't go to the movies, you know, I watch like movies at home, Netflix and stuff like that.
Right.
And, but I noticed that even now, like I'm watching a movie and I'll still grab my phone and be like, oh, let me just check. I'm like, why do we need that? So that was like the checkpoint. A friend of mine told me that it's like that is not enough of what's the word?
Distraction from the phone.
It's not enough. What's the thing? It's not giving you enough kind of like information, so to speak. It doesn't like give you enough energy, so you have to go and get a different source. So you need, because we're so used to constant multiple sources of getting. I
think it also has a lot to do with habit. It's just a habit to pick up the phone. Like my ex-boyfriend, whenever we were watching a movie together, he would grab his phone just like you. He would grab his phone. I'd be mad, and then he'd be on his phone and then push it in my face like, look, I'm watching a movie. Put the phone away. I'm very good with that, because unless the movie is bad, but then I just cut the movie off. But it's a habit of picking it up. And what I've learned to do a long time ago when I started working for myself is I give people a specific ringtone. So my mom has a ringtone, my clients have a ringtone, just important people. So when the phone goes off, I'm not feeling the urge to check who it is, because if it's the regular ringtone, I don't have to look at it right now and I can keep doing what I do. And it really helped me regulate my grabbing the phone habit, because even if I grab it and it's not important, you see all the other notifications, you're going to get distracted, and boom, an hour later, oh, what was I doing? So that helped me. And I put my phone on do not disturb between 11 p.m. at night until 8 a.m. in the morning. So I don't get any messages, or unless
I turn my notifications off. At all times, only phone calls and emails get through, and not a lot of, I mean, I'll get emails, but like,
right.
I
have
don't
to
know how I set
deliberately
it up.
go. Yeah.
Yes. So basically I would have to go to a specific app, click on it, and then see like what's happening. And that has been really like a life-changing experience for me, because now my phone doesn't do that lighting thing anymore as
that's
much.
what it doesn't do. If you put it on do not disturb, I don't get anything unless you're a VIP like my mom, because if my mom needs help, then I need to be able to hear the phone. So only the VIPs come through on life and death situations. Other than that, I don't hear anything. I don't see anything.
But
and I can't see it.
I also started turning off my phone at night, like flight mode off.
That's what
because I get it for emergency reasons for parents. I feel like I get it, but even I don't know. I feel like I have two brothers, so I'm like already there's multiple points of emergency. People will get to me if they need to.
Well, I hear you, because the last few nights I've actually put it on flight mode. So I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, but I really need to put it on flight mode. And what people don't understand is that we use our phone to look at what time it is. I actually have a watch, so I don't have to grab my phone even when I'm on the street. I just look on my watch what time it is, so I don't have to grab the phone and get distracted by the notifications. So I love that. But okay, so this is actually maybe some good tips for people that are watching and have a phone addiction. I want to talk a little bit about you and your music, because I'm a big fan. I just saw somebody leaving a comment that they discovered your music during the pandemic. That's absolutely wonderful. And because your music does have that, and I've told you this before, not too long ago, that your music really helped me through the pandemic as well. It's very soothing, it's very mellow,
That's amazing
it's happy.
To hear. Thank you.
Yeah. And I can't listen to rowdy music in these times. I mean, I have to be very hyped to listen to that, but now I just want to be mellow in my house. Can you tell me, for me, I think you're a successful artist. I don't want to assume that you think you're a successful artist, because I know how artists are. They still have like the next level they want to go to. Exactly.
Still working on a lot of.
This is why I'm wording it like that. But what was for you the point in your career where you felt like this is the moment where I feel like I can make it with music? I don't have to do anything else.
I don't know if I've ever had that moment like that where I was like, I don't have to do anything else. But I remember graduating film school, and I actually started, I graduated film school as a sound designer. And me and a good friend of mine who also graduated like a year after me, we started a sound design company to create design sound for commercials and movies and stuff like that. And on the side, I would kind of get like the composed music for commercials, gigs and stuff here and there. But I've been DJing that whole time, because I was DJing since high school. So I would still do the DJ gigs here and there. And then I kind of started doing music. And I remember I was doing like half of that and running, And then I remember having a conversation with my dad. My dad told me, he was like, hey, listen, you've been doing this thing for a year now after you graduated, and you're trying to run this company, but I see that you're also trying to run this music career thing. And, at the time, I think me and Mar released our first song, She Was Fly, and it got picked up by the German label. And, we were going to Germany to master the songs. And it's like at the time, to me, that label deal, that was like, yo, we made it. We're about to.
Is it that long ago already? Because I remember that.
That was a minute ago, yeah.
Yeah, wow, time flies.
Yeah. But that at the time felt like, man, I made it big. Yeah. Boom. So that's the first memory I remember being like a music, because it was the first song I made. So your first song, one of the first ones. So for that song to be picked up by a label, and then you feel like, I'm about to be the next whoever you look up to at the time.
it's a significant moment for you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, again, it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm at the top of things, but for that's exactly the type of moment I was looking for. Like
Yeah.
that was for you a significant moment in your career. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I made a song and it got picked up by a
Yeah.
label.
Yeah.
That's
But
amazing.
then the conversation I had with my dad at that time is he told me, what are you doing? Make a decision.
Yeah.
And make a decision and run with it. Because I was half-assing music and half-assing sound design company that I
Right.
had. And I was like, I didn't even think about it. It was like, boom, music, let's go. So I dropped
But
my company and just went with it.
But what's interesting is because I've had these conversations actually the past week with a couple of people that feel like they have they're multi-talented. Even you're not just a producer, and I know that you want to do like film now. So I think it's great that you focused on one thing. You kind of mastered it, or at least skilled enough to know what you're doing, and now venturing out to other talents that you have that are also creative and can tie in your whole being in different talents. I think that is wonderful to do that. So on one hand, I feel like your dad had a point, but on the other hand, I feel like, well, you could do multiple things.
You could, but I think at the time, if you can manage, now I can manage because now I'm a recording artist.
Right.
I write, I sing, I produce, compose,
Right.
perform, and DJ and do all that shebang. But I also write the music videos and direct them
Right.
and edit if I have to and color grade. So like you can do all of that, but it's very time consuming. So
Right.
when you're just starting out, I felt like that focus was really important to just pick one thing and really focus on it and go. Not to say that
Right.
you shouldn't entertain kind of like the idea of maintaining all of the other hobbies. Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Everything I do now that I do now for a living, all of it is that all of those things are my hobbies. Like I love doing
Right.
them. I still love doing them. And now obviously the work aspect of things sometimes makes you feel like, oh damn, I don't want to do that. Like, the other day I was in the studio and I had to double check the masters for a new single. And then there's like a little mistake in it that I gotta hit up the engineer and be like, hey, can we change it? So like in that moment, it feels like, oh man, it's like midnight. I want to go to sleep, but you got to do it. But then you check yourself, like, dude, like, do you realize what the job is that you're doing right now? Like, this is my job. This pays my rent. So yeah, it's a blessing, but you just got to do what you like. Follow your heart.
What you love. Yeah. Do what you love and try to at least master it. Like, if you want to make I'm not saying that everybody has to make their hobby their work, but if it's your goal to live your dream with something that you love, then you have to master it. You have to, learn. You have to practice.
And
educate
you said that
yourself.
I mastered it, but I'm far from mastering any of the things.
Nobody's ever at the point where you know everything, and especially in music, the industry keeps evolving. Like even technically, like digital, and we went where there's always new things coming out, new technology, new ways of even promoting yourself, or even now this pandemic, we have to do live stream shows. There's always something to learn. We are never at the top of perfection in a creative industry, never. So just keep educating yourself and keep, perfecting your skills as best as possible, I say. And then you'll eventually get somewhere.
That's what I used the time in the pandemic as. Like if I had more, the funny thing is, I noticed that, and this is not an attack on anybody. Like I truly respect everybody's views and opinions, and everybody is in a different mental state, than I am. I mean, everybody is different generally. I noticed that during the pandemic, especially in the first couple of months, there was not enough time in the day for me to do things that I really wanted to do. Because I finally had the time, because I was running a music career, so to speak, right?
Right.
So music career means I have to write songs, compose songs, make the song, mix the song, master the song, shoot a video for it, do the promo.
You do everything. Yeah.
All of that, but wait, all of that during while you flying, doing shows. So you have to like balance that out in between the travel. And then imagine like Asia tour, 2-3 weeks, you're exhausted, but then you still got to deliver. So I noticed that during the pandemic, I was like, damn, I have all this time. And now I can like really take my time with the music and really take my time with the visuals and stuff. And yeah, some things you can't do anymore because of, the situation. But I've noticed that there still wasn't enough time in the day for me to do the things that I really wanted to do. And still till the day today, like,
because you want to do too much.
There's so many things I want to do. So I literally spend a lot of my time on YouTube, like searching tutorials and learning, like how can I get better at this? How can practicing, playing keys, I picked up piano lessons again, and I want to, get better. I just want to get better. I want to be a better version of me each and every day if I can.
Right. So do you think, let's say the world goes back to semi-normal or normal with vaccines, whatever we want to call it, and you get tours again, and you're all over the place again. Do you feel like what you've learned during the pandemic in balancing yourself out and having a healthier habits, do you think you are able to maintain that somewhat while touring? Because what I hear is you have a tour, you got to do things in between, like maybe split your time between, if I'm doing a tour, I'm doing a tour. And if I want to do creative stuff in between, yes, but it not being mandatory to finish things in between, but wait until you're back from touring. I'm just mentioning something. Is that something that you feel like?
Yeah, me and my team definitely talked about it. That once we can get on the road again and just like start traveling, I do really want to maintain more of a balance.
Right.
So something between I used to do and something I'm doing right now is I ideally want to get, I call it the Beyonce cycle, where, you can call it any major artist cycle. It's where you take your time, you write a record, you have your album,
promote the record, tour,
promote take a vacation, and make
come
sure
home
to take
and work on a new record.
Boom, new record. That's a cycle I want to be in for the next whatever.
That's what I was getting at. And but then also, you being an artist yourself, I'm sure you get hit up by a lot of people that want either your production or collaborate with you, or maybe do songwriting from you, or get you as a featured artist. How do you balance that out? What do you give priority?
You gotta, that I'm still trying to figure out, because that's a never-ending kind of like, not a problem. It's a luxury problem to have, to be honest. But like right now, I'm working on my own project. I'm writing a lot of songs, but at the same time, I'm also working for multiple people at the same time. I've written songs for somebody else, composed a song for somebody else. Somebody made a song, but they want me to kind of like lift the song to a new level or a different thing, and then doing a remix for somebody else at the same time. All of this in the span of like the past 2 weeks, I've been doing all of it. So I think scheduling really works.
Time
Having
management.
a routine in the morning, time management. And I honestly used to suck at it. Now I suck at it less, but I still suck at it, I feel like. The
figuring it out.
Helped. Yeah, the morning routine really helped. And having, and this is why, and I feel like even with travel, you should have a routine. Like, even if you have an irregular schedule, the routine should be there. And I had some type of routine because, I always made my flights most of the time. I've only made my flight like once or twice, 3 times actually. But in 5 years, 3 times, that's not bad.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. So I always made my, just that routine. And I noticed the first thing I do is I get up and I make my bed. That's
what I do.
That's
I always
like
make my bed.
Changer. Like,
did something in the morning. If you don't do anything at all, then you made your bed. And I hate going to bed in a messy bed. I can't do it. And I hate waking up to a messy kitchen when I make my breakfast. Like, I hate myself when I didn't clean my kitchen the night before, because I want to start fresh. And so that's definitely two of the things that I do. I make sure my bed is made, and I make sure my kitchen is cleaned. But I've been failing at the cleaning kitchen the past week because I've been busy working in the evening. But making the bed, very, very important to me.
Definitely. Same.
I want to get into lessons in the industry. A lot of people look towards you in your career as, okay, I want to either follow him or what he's doing. I want to get to where he's at right now. What is for you the biggest mistake that you made in the industry that turned out to be your biggest lesson that you carry with you and that you pass on to others? An example is people not reading contracts, people working with friends. What is for you a significant mistake that really put you into place like, oh, I should never do this again?
Trying to be something I'm not.
That's a good one.
That has been the biggest one for me personally, because I and I'm still trying to figure that one out, because not everybody knows who they really are, right? It's like a life journey to figure yourself out.
Yeah.
But I think I noticed that I was trying to be like other artists, and not in a bad way. That's not a bad thing, because you can get inspired, because I get inspired by so many incredible artists out there, you know, whether it's my friends or people I look up to. I also look up to my friends, so you know, everybody. But at some point I noticed, like, man, I'm trying to be something that I'm not, that I'm trying to be something that I'm not, but I'm showing. That's the thing. I was showing more of the side that was trying to be like somebody else, versus really accepting that, hey, maybe I'm not that's perfect, this or that.
Yeah, you should just be you.
I should
you
just
were
be
figuring
me.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the lesson that I learned. I'm learning, is how to stay in your own lane. And with that comes the, don't worry about other people's lanes. And everybody says that. Don't worry about what the person is doing or what this person is doing. Like, focus on your thing.
Tough,
and
though,
actually, I mean, it's difficult, because sometimes you have people around you that you're like, oh, but what does this person get that and I don't, and I work for it, you know. But I had to stop looking at it that way, and that I learned that lesson pretty quickly, early on in my career. Shout out.
Why wasn't it working for you? What was, because you know, you tell me, okay, being myself, or trying to be somebody else that I'm that I'm not, or whatever the case is. How did you notice that wasn't working? What was the biggest impact of you noticing, okay, wait,
anything from engagement with the people that follow you, listen to your music, whether these are fans or just people that follow you for whatever reasons. That noticing that wasn't where you would hope it would be, or where you think it should be, type thing. And then noticing, I actually noticed it only when I started being more myself and not caring as much what people would think, and just being like, you know, I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We're talking about singing, and I was playing her one of my songs. It was like a demo, and I was singing the demo myself. And I've been singing a lot on the pad. Like, I'm working on a project where I'm just like, most of it, I try to sing more. I really enjoy it too. And then I kept on saying, you know, yeah, the vocals aren't like what it needs to be. You know, I'm still working on a type thing. And then I said something in the line of, you know, the vocals are blah, but it's my blah.
Right.
And I think that was the biggest, that was like, in that moment, I was like, damn, the vocals are blah, but they're my blah vocals.
That's what you did.
And I feel like, and that was the lesson for me. Like, all right, let me just focus. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, because I love a lot of different artists, and none of them are like perfection and this or that. It just, I love them because they're certain individuals and they're creators. And I love them for that, and not because they're like the most skilled person in that specific thing that they're doing. So yeah, man, just being myself. That's all I care about at this point.
And it's, you know, I've done probably 200, 300, 400 interviews in my life, if not more. And it's pretty much what every so-called successful artist says: be yourself, be your genuine self with your genuine passion and your genuine art. And it sounds so cliche and so utopic, but it is true, because as a fan, you can hear the music, you can feel the music, and you can tell if it comes straight from the heart and or not. So stick to yourself, because there's enough other people.
But it depends on what you're doing, right? If you're trying to make a hit record,
it does,
and you don't care about people feeling like you felt a certain way or whatever, you're really just trying to be like, yo, we're gonna make a smash record, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's right. I truly respect.
If you want to make club music, perfectly fine too. But that's exactly what you said. It depends on what you want to do. If you're an artist that really makes art from whenever you were little or whatever, it comes from the heart, then that's a different thing than, hey, I want to be the next big thing in the club. That's, I mean, there's a difference in listening to that type of music too, because if I listen to your music, I'm not trying to go to the club.
Depending on what you listen to, because I have people hit me up saying, oh, I love your club music, like the remixes or the edits or whatever. So once again, it depends on what kind of person you are, what mood you're in. But then also, I think I used to be one of those haters who was like, oh, that person isn't doing things. You know, I think everybody has their own phase in a way. I think at some point I realized that not everybody in the entertainment business is in it for the art.
For the passion and the art.
Yeah, some people are in it for the money. That's their business formula. Yeah. And the fame, or you know. So I also in a way respect that, because if somebody is in it and they're like, yo, I can make hit records and maybe not care for the record itself
Right.
as like a passionate piece of music like that, but that's my business. I respect
Yeah.
who am I to judge? I respect that. Do you?
Hey, honestly, I respect that too, because I would think it's tough to do it for the money and the fame, because that might be harder than actually doing something you love, you know.
But that's the thing. Maybe those people, that's what they love.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
not everybody releasing music is a musician by definition.
That's true. That's
Not
true.
everybody needs to be like, yo, this is, some people just look at it the same way people work in Wall Street.
Yeah.
They just look at
That's
it like this
very
is a
true.
business to run. So that's
Yeah.
why I respect it, because it's a business. I know a lot of musicians, some of them are homies of mine that like made the decision to be like, all right, I can sit here and like do this type of thing and be
Yeah.
super passionate about it, or I can make the music that I don't really care for, but it's gonna make me money. It's their decision. As long as
Yeah.
they're happy, then I can't, you know.
Yeah.
So far in my career, I try to kind of stay true to who I am as a musician, as an artist, and as a person. And I noticed that it makes me happy. I've had the moments where I was like, ooh, that's a big check right there, and I can do like some crazy stuff. But I noticed that it doesn't make me as happy, and it's actually
Right.
making me more stressed, makes me not want to be in that music environment. So I
Right.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna go the long-term vision
Maybe the long
and
run,
just
yeah, the long
keep,
way.
yeah, just keep on growing, you know, and grinding on the craft, and you know,
But you know
step by
what?
step.
I have to say that I did that too. As a journalist, as a presenter, I had opportunities to work for, you know, big national radio stations out here when I was doing radio. And I had the opportunity to work for MTV over here back in the day. And I didn't want to do that because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And that wasn't necessarily able for those, you know, companies. I would have to be a puppet for them and present what they wanted me to present. And I wanted to do what I want to do and put people that I love on to my radio show and on my little platforms. And it may have never been an MTV or a Fader magazine or whatever, but I did what I wanted to do and I put people on that I wanted to put on. And again, that's also the long game, but I can look back at it and say, hey, I didn't sell out to myself. And no disrespect to people that want to do that, but I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I knew that wasn't it. Unless they let me do what I wanted to do in their, you know, environment, but that wasn't.
I think there's enough space for everybody to do what they truly want to do, and it's just up to them, because what may seem like selling out to you or me or somebody else,
right,
doesn't necessarily mean that that's selling out for the other
No, that's
person.
my point. It was selling out to me. Like if
Exactly.
I had done that, if I had done that, I wouldn't have stayed true to me. That's what it was. Again, if I wanted to do that, I would have. I just didn't do it because it didn't feel right. And it's the same with working with different artists. Sure, a paycheck is nice, but if I see that it's going to be a difficult road and a lot of arguing, and I may not want to do it, my peace of mind is everything to me. So
energy is important.
Yes. Who are some of the people that inspire you or have inspired you to do music or make music or write music or do film or
like generally?
Yeah, in general, like throughout your career. Who are some of the people that you play when you want to be inspired or that you listen to?
There is the list that I call Duh. And that list is like from the Stevies, the Jimi Hendrix, the Michaels, you know, like that's the dull list. We don't need to get into the dull list.
I like that.
That's a big list. The dull list is a very big list because duh, everybody I grew up listening to. Honestly, it depends on my mood. I discover new artists all the time. I love kind of like crate digging. I haven't been doing it as much, but every time I travel somewhere, I try to visit a record store, try to get some vinyl if possible. I have to be honest, like I haven't been doing it as much as I used to, but I do still enjoy it now, you know, on the digital side of things.
Right.
Spotify, you just like SoundCloud sometimes, you just go in and find new music. There's so many artists out there, Pay. Like so many artists.
Name one that you just discovered that you feel like, oh wow.
Honestly, the past couple of years, I've been listening to who pops up. I love her. Her is like, I really love what she does. One other artist that really inspired me is Lucky Day. I love Lucky Day. Love his music. Who else? I'm just going off my playlist. Like, who do I have on my playlist? Tyler the Creator would be definitely a big influence.
And you gotta You got a hit with Kyle Dion. I love
Thank you.
him.
Shout out Kyle Dion.
Love
Kyle's the
him.
homie, man.
Like,
He's an incredible artist, and just like not only as a vocalist or whatever, but just like the work ethic is really
right.
inspiring, because I got to be around those guys in LA. I moved to LA for a minute, and then hung out a lot with that clique, and became friends with the guys, and the work ethic is crazy.
Yeah, that's important.
Those guys go in and write a lot of music, and it was really inspiring. I learned a lot from those sessions too. So shout out to Kyle for sure.
No, I'm a big fan. I heard him on my Discover Weekly, and I was just like, whoa, who's this? And I love Spotify's Discover Weekly because it also often shows me songs that are old, so quote unquote old. And so I get up with artists and play their old records over and over and over again. That's why I tell artists, don't be sad if you put something out and then you move on to the next thing because it's not doing anything, because it's still new to everybody that hasn't heard it. So music is timeless. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, to make timeless music.
Yes,
I'm not trying to make a hit. I'm trying to make timeless music.
Exactly.
And
your music is timeless.
Great. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that, but I appreciate you saying
No, I think you can, because you are up there with those people in the same type of genre music, maybe not even genre, but the same type of quality music. That's a better word to say it. And I can say this about you. You're not saying it about yourself. I can say this as a person that's, my dad was a musician, so I know what timeless music is. I've been in this game. I may not be an artist, but I've curated a lot of radio station stuff. And yeah, so I think you definitely make timeless music.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And the people you work with, obviously. So
I honestly don't know how all of this is happening. I was doing some sessions. I got to do any name dropping, but I've been doing some sessions, and I legitimately, I had a session yesterday or the day before, and this person is like, man, crazy, like incredible artist. And then I literally asked the person, like, why are you working with me? Because it's like, you could be working with anybody. Why me? So
but you have to understand.
I still gotta pinch myself sometimes in certain situations. I'm like, damn, how did I even get in this situation?
But you have to understand, and I'm telling you this now, so you're going to have to take this from me, that there are a lot of people that work with you that feel the same way about you. Like, why are you working with me? You have accomplished that level already in your career where people want to work with you, and if you say yes, they'll probably sit there like, why are you working with me? So you have to understand that what other people are to you, you are already for other people as well.
And that's crazy. I'm just a dude making music. So to me,
that's what these other people think as well that work with you. So you have to, it's the reality. It has nothing to do with ego. It has nothing to do with, thinking you're the greatest, but it has everything to do with the work you put in and the level you've accomplished in your career. Yeah. So I'm just telling you that.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. I mean, we have to celebrate our own accomplishments. We could sit here and think, oh, well, I can still do better, which we all can. But we also have to celebrate our own little steps towards our careers and the journey that we've made already so far. Because you're not fresh. You didn't start yesterday. So let's keep it real. We all have to, pat ourselves on the back like, I've been doing this. I put the work in. And that counts for everybody that's watching this, whether you're an artist or not. Whatever you accomplish in your life, celebrate it. I often forget to look back at what I've done. And I always feel like I'm not there yet. But to somebody else, I'm already there where they want to be. So I really have to realize that as well and be aware of it. Because it's good for your mental state as well. Be happy with yourself.
The work I put in. Obviously, I know the flaws and I know what I want to fix and change.
Right.
Are you still there? Oh yeah, you're still there.
Yeah, I'm here, but you're frozen.
You're frozen on my end too. But anyway, as long as we can hear each other.
Yeah, we can hear each other.
But yeah, but I'm definitely proud. Like,
good.
I took this year to just kind of look at, and last year to look at everything I accomplished, everything I want to change, whether it's career, personal, growth and friendships and relationships in any type of way or form. So yeah. It's been good.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you're proud, because you should be proud of yourself. Who is a person, and I know I asked everybody this question, and it has a goal, me asking this question. Name one person that's on your bucket list that you absolutely want to work with. Just one.
Just one?
Yes, sorry. I gotta limit the list.
Damn, that's so difficult. Why you gotta do that?
It has a
there's
purpose.
there's too many out there.
Well, name two.
All right, if I gotta, then I'll go like, because there's different reasons. There's
Yeah,
like,
no, I understand.
you know, if I gotta go to, see, this is the thing. Then we have to skip the DAW list, because you know what I mean.
That's
Like
fine. Just, I
we
mean,
gotta skip the like the legends.
right,
You know what I mean? Because that's just like so.
right. That's
Obviously,
obvious.
all like Quincy, Stevie, and like all that's super obvious.
Well, we're
Obviously,
still speaking that into existence. You're going to work with Quincy. You're going to work with Stevie. Okay, go
yeah.
back to who you wanted to name.
Can we do like a slash?
Now, well, I just want to make clear that this is not the only person he wants to work with. He's just mentioning one because I asked him for one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anybody, I'm gonna just do like a little line. Anybody from
Okay.
Tyler to her, but then also Jacob Collier to Hans Zimmer.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just like everybody
We're speaking
that I
it into
listen to,
existence.
Yeah. I mean, it'll happen, but also a Drake and
right.
You know, like there's so many artists on my bucket list there, and now there's really so many artists I already worked with that I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Right. I was about to say,
which is
like,
I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
So
the list just keeps on adding. So yeah, and my list of people I want to work with is just like endless, and every year I'm like, oh, ended up working with this person from my bucket list. This is crazy, you know. And
that's amazing though that you're able to say that you can actually cross people off your bucket list. That's a blessing.
Last year I worked with a person, and I can't say anything about it yet, but soon. All I'm saying is people will hear it soon.
Right.
I'll tell you when we hang up.
Okay, cool.
But last year I got like one that was like on like pretty high.
Oh wow, on the list.
On like high on the top of my list.
Oh, I'm curious.
I got one that I'm like, oh man, like my musical spirit is still like in shock.
That's amazing. So anything is possible. And
anything is possible. Literally,
yeah,
anything is possible. I'm a Armenian kid who moved to Holland as a teenager, an immigrant, and I get to travel the world and make
and work with the greatest artists
and work with the people I grew up listening to. So anything is possible. Yeah.
Let that be a lesson, people. And so the purpose of me asking this question is to speak it into existence. And I tell 100%. All my guests, if we speak it into existence now and it happens, I just want you to say thanks, Pei. That's all.
Definitely. Make it happen.
I have a few questions from people.
Honestly, I haven't been able to see what people are saying because my thing froze and it's just showing me I don't know what. So on my end, I haven't been able to see what anybody is saying because my thing froze at the first couple.
But that's why I asked them to put it in here because I don't want to interrupt the conversation. Cool. Let me see. Oh, wow. This is an interesting question from Yo Torres for both of y'all. If you were a soup, what kind of soup would you be and why? I love that question. You can go first.
If I was a soup, what type of soup would I be? I think I'll be ramen soup.
Ramen. That's a good one. That's a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah.
I would be, why?
No, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
Now he asked why.
Why? I don't know, because when I eat ramen, it makes me feel really nice.
That's good. So when you're a ramen soup, you make people feel nice.
Yeah, I really enjoy making people feel nice, especially when they're around me. I always want to make sure everybody's happy. You know.
Oh, he asked what kind of ramen.
What kind of ramen? I like the simple stuff. When I was in Japan, I got to eat the chicken show. Is it shoyu? I don't know how to pronounce it, but
I'm
it's
not
like
a ramen expert.
It was bomb. It was like 4 a.m. It was, so I'm more of a simple chicken broth, like, or no, it's pork broth, but chicken ramen. show you around. I think it's show you. If I'm mispronouncing people, please just
we get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What soup would I be? I would be a sweet potato pumpkin soup.
Wow.
Because I love sweet and I love orange, and it's a hearty soup, so it can fill me up as well. So yeah,
True.
I would be a sweet potato pumpkin soup, and
That's
it's
nice.
winter time, so I actually want to have that soup right now. Yo, Taurus, thank you so much for that interesting question. Then we have what's your Sianda CBC? Sorry if I butchered your name. What's your upcoming project titled? Can you say something about that already?
Not really.
Okay.
Just because I do have a project coming out, the biggest one I've done so far.
So just stay tuned.
The reason why I can't say yet is because I don't know what it's going to be yet. I have a bunch of working titles for the record,
Right.
but all I can say about it is the upcoming project is going to be about me kind of like finding who I am trying to be, who I am, and who I'm becoming to be. Like that's the kind of like the journey, and I'm still trying to. There's a lot of working titles, so I just want to wait just a tiny bit longer.
That's fine.
So I can actually communicate it. But yeah, I do appreciate people caring enough to ask.
Yeah, I that's why I added the little thing about can you even say it, because here's another question from Chum the Cat. If you can collab with any artist, dead or alive, who would be? Well, it's kind of the same question
Yeah, but now I can add more artists.
Yes, yes.
Like who would it be?
Dead or alive?
I mean, obviously, damn, there's so many. This is such a tough question.
I know.
I low-key hate this question, but I like it. No. Jimi Hendrix.
I was gonna say
Prince,
Jimi Hendrix. Oh my God,
Hendrix,
that's the
Prince,
first person.
Obviously MJ. Marvin for sure. I would want to work with also a lot of people from Brazil. Prince. I said Prince.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Obviously Tribe.
Yeah. Definitely.
Five Dog, RIP 5. Dilla. I mean, that's in the duh. Like Dilla is like a big chorus. Man, the list goes on. I think I would really want to get in a studio with Q-Tip, not only because of like his lyrical game and him being an MC, but like on some musical production engineering knowledge. I think that would be amazing. Oh, at D'Angelo, duh.
I'm going to cut you off because we have a few minutes left.
I can keep on going.
We're going to sit here listing artists the whole night. We're not doing that. What was I going to ask? Somebody put it in here, I think. Oh yeah, I was going to say, what is the most asked question that you get from people, like fans, or what is something that most of the people ask other than want to work with you?
There's different categories. There's the weird ones.
Are you single? No, I'm kidding.
I get that sometimes, but not like that. It's a different type of message, and then you're like,
right.
But it's cool, I appreciate that. It's a huge compliment. I never expected. And I think most of the questions would be about music, which I think is really cool. People ask like, hey, when is a new thing coming out? Or how did you make it? Or a lot of questions about like, I'm just starting out. How do I do this?
Right.
That, but most of the DMs that I'm getting are about people saying like, yo, your music, either I just discovered it or I've been listening to it and I love it, thank you, and I appreciate it. I always try to take the time to reply as many as I can.
That's really rewarding. Majestic, I see your question, and I think it's a great question, but I only have a few minutes left, so I want to apologize for not being able to get into that question. I want to ask you for this last couple of minutes. What is the advice or life motto that you live by that you want to give out to people?
gratitude. I think that's the one that I've been preaching, kind of, not really preaching, but kind of preaching, doing all of my sets and live shows and streams and whatnot. And I started doing that years ago, where I just literally, first of all, I'm thankful that I woke up, didn't die in my sleep.
Yeah.
That's already bonus. Like, I woke up
Very
and I always
good.
I literally every morning I'm like, whoo, woke up, didn't die in my sleep. What am I doing today? What am I doing with my day? That is definitely something that has helped me to change the way I start my day. And also counting my blessings. Like, I really, like, it might sound silly, but I really thank the things around me too. Not only the people in my life. Before I go to sleep, I always do like a list of everything and everyone I'm thankful for, you know. And some people call it praying, some people call it meditation, some people call it gratitude. Whatever works for you, like, you know, we're all
it all comes down to the same.
Yeah. So that has definitely helped me. And just understanding that it's a long journey.
Yeah.
It's a long journey. And the thing is, the way I look at it is, I read this quote once. It was one of those motivational quotes that said, I didn't get this far just to get this far. And that has really kept me going in days when I was like, man, what's the point? There's all these artists out there who just like, boom, 24 hours and they have like this mega hit. Like, but it's okay. I have my own lane and I'm super, super thankful for the things that I get to do every day. And, you know, even the tough days, even like, there's a lot of things that people don't see. Social media is very like, oh, he's doing this thing. But and I am more open. It's flashy, but I'm more open also on the bad days too, just to show people like, yo, it's not all, I'm just as human as everybody else. I have those same fucked up days too, and I go through it too. And you know,
yeah, and that's what makes you human and relatable to people. And it's interesting because you triggered me to say this. You know, remember that show Jerry Springer back in the day, and he would always say at the end, be kind to each other, or whatever he said. He said, be kind to each other. I think in these times we should also remember to be kind to ourselves. You know, that is something that we have to put in as an affirmation or something. Be kind to ourselves. We're all going through a lot. You don't know what the next person is going through. You don't have to be better than the next person. Nobody's grass is greener anywhere. You don't know what they're going through. I mean, maybe Bonita is greener than my nameless plant, but I'm not jealous of it. I'm being kind to my little plant that I'm now
it's a family.
Going to name. Yeah, I'm going to name my plant now. But yeah, gratitude definitely a big thing that can help you, you know, at least reset your mind every day and focus on the things that matter. I want to thank you for being my guest and for being so open about your journey and how you're dealing with the pandemic and giving us advice on how to disconnect from the internet and your phone, how you cook and how that works for you. I just want to thank you for being here and sharing with me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to just catch up with a fellow industry human.
Right.
And just have a good conversation and, you know, kind of have a check-in after all these years.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I really appreciate it.
I'm going to do better, you know, checking in people. So I'll definitely check with you. But you are going to put me on to who the next project was, because I'm now curious who that is.
Yeah, I'll let you know. And I just want to thank everybody out here for joining in, whether you came in for 1 second or stayed for the whole thing. I appreciate y'all. And all I can say is do your thing, count your blessings, and make sure to stay hydrated. I've been drinking water this whole session. So,
me too. All right. Thank you so much, Crate. We'll talk soon.
All righty. Thanks, Paige.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So thanks everyone for tuning in. That was my friend Full Crate. If you don't know about him or his music, please check in with him on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other platforms. Follow him on Instagram or wherever you want to follow him. He's everywhere. He's a great person. You guys are all great. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back next week with another amazing, inspiring guests who have done great things and who definitely will be able to share some advice and knowledge about the industry or how to hang in there for this pandemic, because we're still at it. We've been in a lockdown. We're extended till mid-February. I don't know where it is, how it is where you are. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and stay blessed and thankful. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.